Very nice.
That's a very
Are we
long pipe.
prepared?
That is a very long pipe.
This was a Christmas gift.
Hmm.
So, my friend, shall we begin?
Yes. Maybe.
Please.
The past few months have been difficult for everyone. The constant snows that came through for the winter months kept most people in their homes, feasting off of stocked provisions and animals that they were able to scavenge without traveling too far. Recently, however, the frosts have begun to cease, and the snows have melted away, revealing a very early spring. And the clan Searson has begun its annual Frostfalter. Who would like to have me start off with them?
Not it.
Not it. Hobbit's going first.
I have
All
the
right.
least
I
reason to
can
be
do
here.
that. I don't have a
Kisa.
problem going first.
This day has been anticipated by many. The the village itself has been decked out with streamers of bright, vibrant colors. Many of the homes that you are very familiar with have opened windows to reveal burning hearts within, and people have come out to greet one another with smiling faces as you can hear from different sections of the village lutes and fiddles and pipe flutes that are being played in celebration of the festival. You walk the streets, greeting people that you know, giving a smile to this person and that, even though you are yourself not fully an insider of the clan. You are welcomed with open arms, as this is a time of celebration between friends and family. Odin, you have been traveling for quite a while. Only you know how long. And your travels have brought you on this fine fair day to the wooden walls of a clan that you've met before. Very, very briefly, if at all. You crest the hill just to see the valley stretch out before you. The far mountain range crests the sky, and in front of it, a tall hill peppered with buildings. A low wooden wall protects the bottom of the hill, and a large gate is on the side that you are approaching from. You approach the city, and as you get a bit closer, you see that there are guards placed outside. What would you like to do?
Hail McPherson.
Hail, traveler! What's your business here in Clan Searson?
Staying for Frostfalter.
All right. Well, we try to make sure to invite everyone we can. But do you mind if we give you an escort as you wander the village?
Nay, not at all.
All right. Joseph, and he turns over his shoulder, and behind him is a younger gentleman in the same garb as the guards. None of them have distinct insignias, but all of them are in patched together metal armor along with leather, great furs that broach the shoulders, and conical helmets with a nose guard. He turns back and says, Joseph, rush into the village and find the druid. And then turns back to you. Not broaching any more conversation. What do you want? Go away.
I love you, Emily.
Go away, person that I've married.
Begone, wife.
Darian. Similar to Odin, your travels have brought you to the village of Pearson during the festival of Frostfalter. The village itself provides an opportunity of shelter, some companionship, and definitely good food that you can smell wafting over the winds that are brought down from the mountain. Upon approach from the city, you see the same large gate as Odin, and as you walk up, you see Odin. Would you like to describe yourself?
Oh boy. Let me check my description to see if I wrote anything down. Appearance.
While he's checking, I would like to apologize. I am a better DM when it's not first session.
No,
Don't worry.
means.
Takes a bit for all of us to get warmed
Okay.
up and into character. No problem.
All right, got it. So you see a rather tall, fair-skinned man. He's probably about 6'4", and he's got dark hair, but it's got a shock of silver through it, like right at the front over his left eye, which is coincidentally missing. He's wearing sort of like a cloth strip over it,
Okay.
like the one in 300, if you're familiar with that.
Oh,
One of
so
the-
you went all the way with this.
One of the cool eye patches. And he is holding in his right hand a large black metal spear.
As he approached Odin, you hear someone behind you. Darian, would you like to describe yourself?
I'm trying to find the image, and I swear I cannot find it right now. So, I think we're gonna go off a... Oh, wait. Aha. As soon as that opens. You could describe it better looking at it.
That's fair.
Darian is a fairly lean man in his early 30s, say. Wearing a somewhat long black hair with a center part. If you would picture Severus Snape if he ever washed his hair. And a very well-kept beard, and wears a shamag and a large trench coat over a clean set of clothes.
Stealing my look.
So all the glorious hair is not visible.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that he's traveled a great distance.
I have a song for that.
No, we're not doing this.
You are not a bard. You cannot sing a game.
You don't have to be a bard to appreciate music.
I know. I'm
Kyle
kidding.
agrees. I see you are here for the festival as well.
Aye,
And what is your name?
Odin Halfeather.
Odin. I am Darian.
A pleasure.
The guard who spoke to Odin now turns to you, Darian, says, "You're here for the Frostfalter as well, stranger?"
I am just passing through, but yes.
Oh, are you willing to have an escort as well?
I suppose. May I ask why?
In the spirit of the holiday, we're opening the gates, but we're not fools. We won't let just anyone wander around the city.
Of course.
About this time, Keitha, you've been approached by the young man, Joseph, who's explained that there are a few men at the gates that would like to accompany you for the Frostfalter. This request is slightly strange, coming from the town guards, but nonetheless, it's not necessarily the weirdest thing that they've ever asked you to do.
Right, fair enough. Alright then, Joseph, go on, lead the way.
My mom! And he turns and rushes back to the gate. About a few minutes later, the young man approaches the gate, and the guard turns and tips his head in greeting to you, Keitha. Gentlemen, this is a druid that is connected to Clan Searson. This is Keitha. She will be accompanying you, and he gives you a meaningful look, Keitha, for the Frostfalter. Please enjoy yourselves. Make no trouble.
Aye.
Right then, pleasure to meet you both. As you said, I'm Keitha, and you are?
I did think Kelso was going to answer there for a second. Sorry.
I'm bracing myself.
Do you both speak common?
Sorry.
Keitha,
That
was it?
pause wasn't in.
No, it wasn't. I am Darian Tagazami Lorano Lamtuk.
Pleasure to
You
meet
may
you.
call me Darian.
Darian. Right. Pleasure to meet you. And
I am Odin.
Odin, nice to meet you as well. Well, I suppose if you're all looking for the festival, most of the festivities are further into town. This way.
By all means, lead the way. I don't doubt that the town has changed since I was last here.
You've been here before then?
Aye, a couple of times.
How far back?
Aye, probably 3 to 4 years ago. ADM?
Approximately.
Before my time then. I suppose the biggest
you-
thing...
You all enter back into the town, and as you step in, the buildings around you are mildly sporadically placed. You don't get the long cobbled streets and towering buildings of what you would expect in the city, but instead low, squat huts that are mostly built of wood and thatched with straw at the top. You walk in and there's a house here and then there's a house there, but there's always a clear path that leads through the town. You walk farther in and you can hear people greeting each other and laughing together and singing together. And as you pass one split off road, you see a large group dancing to the jaunty tunes of a band. Keitha, you lead the group farther in just a bit to a large open field of sorts on the inside of the town that's been set up with tents and little stations with food being cooked behind it. The blacksmith is out hammering, and you can hear the tinking of his hammer against the anvil as he makes little trinkets for the children as they all crowd around him asking him for certain things. There are a few activities that you see around. A bit farther ahead to your left, you see a stout dwarf with a great beard leaning on a very, very large hammer. It looks almost as if it's more of a trophy than anything, as a hammer of this size wouldn't reasonably be used for anything useful. He stands with his hammer next to a long alleyway that he's cleared out with a large stone boulder at the very far end, about 60 feet long. Farther in, you see part of the field has been sectioned off for an archery competition. You see animals being led from here and there, and people just being happy and festive and laughing together. What would you like to do?
Well, Odin, you seem to have been here before. What would you suggest?
Hey, all this is fairly new to me, to be honest. I wasn't here for Frostfalter last time, and the town's layout has changed a wee bit. As I recall, there was some sort of tavern nearby that was fairly good.
And you would be right about that. You can actually see farther in and a bit off to the right is a larger building, about 2 stories, which is less common than you would think in this sort of scenario. The large roof is almost barrel-shaped with, at the front, a large figurehead that wouldn't look out of place on the front of a ship. Beg pardon?
What about the ship? I didn't quite understand the bit about the ship.
Oh, the figurehead on the front of the building wouldn't look out of place on the front of a ship.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Does it look like Andromeda?
It does not.
Thank heavens.
As you approach Odin, you see the sign hanging from the front. Is called, the Hall of Ardierg. Arddearg.
Okay.
Artiag's place. Yeah, it's right over there. Still there from...
I'm glad to see it hasn't changed too much.
As you get closer and say that, you do see that there is a large burn mark at the very back that wasn't there before.
At least for the most part.
Might I ask about what that is? What is that about?
That's a burn mark. That's where fire hit it.
Well,
Yeah, now you're going to be getting along fine, I think.
Keitha, roll me a history check.
Right.
First roll.
First roll of the night.
Now,
It's a game.
Oh, it's cocked.
to clarify, do I get the impression that Keitha is from here, or was that my misunderstanding?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
History check, you say?
Yeah.
That's night. 8.
An 8 in all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's enough. The burn mark was actually caused by a raid that happened a couple years back, about 1.5 years to 2.
I mean, we've got decent walls and all that, but occasionally a raider slips in. This happened, 4 or 5 seasons ago.
A shame.
I take it the hostility, excuse me, is about as normal as it has been in the last few decades.
Odin snorts a little bit.
You're not from around here, are you?
And I kind of just hold my arms out and just look at my dress slightly and just no, not exactly.
Well, I hope
Very
you're not.
beautiful dress.
Hope you're not too flighty then.
I've seen my share.
Good to know then.
So what are you all doing?
So, were you two hoping to get a drink in here, or just wanted to admire the architecture?
And the drink wouldn't go amiss. I've been traveling for now a fortnight now.
All right, you guys
Come on in then.
enter. As you enter the large halls, the large double doors open ahead of you, and you walk into a very, very warm environment. A blazing fire set in the middle of a very large open room billows smoke up to a small opening that isn't quite large enough to let all the smoke escape. This place is almost packed full. Lots of people in what you would assume are their finest garments are lollygagging, for lack of better terminology. Greeting each other in friendly terms, hugs, and warm greetings are exchanged between many of the townsfolk. A large bar on the far side is governed by a large half-orc man who sits there rubbing his fist into a large mug with a very dirty towel. You assume that there's probably more dirt being added to the mug than taken off.
Well, this
It's
is
a
so-
gesture that counts.
On the far end of the fire, you can also see a small area has been opened for some dancing, as some minstrels have set up shop in the far corner. And there are about 2 to 3 couples who are swinging each other and dancing and stomping their feet to the music.
This is cozy.
Now, this is just how I remember.
Tell me, what brought you in last time you were here?
The road.
Just passing through then, I take it?
Aye.
Much like I am today?
You're telling me you're not here to stay dressed like that. Color me surprised.
Well, I've seen people dressed in many garments. Who am I to
I
judge?
have. So have I. More now. Pardon, barkeep. Can I get an ale?
He turns to you and gives a wry grimace as he puts the mug down in front of you. What'll it be? What?
Oh, that killed me. I was not expecting that. Sorry.
I'm just sad I wasn't looking at him when he said it.
I feel like I need to compete now.
Oh, no.
What have you got?
I have ale. I have mead. I have beer.
An ale wouldn't go amiss.
He sniffs and rubs the rag against his nose before pulling over a large pitcher and pouring the foam, fills the cup in just at the very tip. He's like, oh, no, and it spills over just a touch. That'll be 2 copper.
Definitely have money. I really hope. I do have money. Yes. Money
do.
is something I have. All right, here you are. Thank you.
He slides the coins straight into a pouch on his apron and then walks away.
I drink.
It's not terrible. It's not the best.
A little dirt never hurt nobody.
Exactly. There's definitely the more mineral taste than you are used to.
That's fine.
What are the rest of you doing?
Realizing that I need a bigger desk.
Turning to Darian, gives us. So, not much of an ale drinker, are you?
I haven't decided what I want yet.
Have you had ale or mead or beer before?
Have
I
you
have.
no drink before?
I do, just not very often. It's good to keep one's wits about them on the road.
Aye, fair
A
enough.
flagon ain't gonna kill you. At least don't if you're a lightweight.
No, I know. And then I signal the bard and then ask for an ale.
He comes over to you, slams down the mug as well, brings out the pitcher, gets about halfway full before the pitcher's empty, and he goes, "Oh, great, lost it." Turns around, fills it up again with a large barrel behind him, and then pours it to overfilling again, as he is really bad at judging how small these cups are. They're never as big as he hopes, apparently.
Thank you.
Hold on. What's your character's name again? I'm definitely gonna keep forgetting for a while.
Me?
Keitha?
Yes. No. Kelso.
Darian.
Darian. Odin slaps Darian on the back. He's like, "Aye, good lad." and he finishes off his mug.
All right. No Constitution saving throws yet. It's not that strong.
I should
More of a slow burn.
Didn't order whiskey.
I put the drink to my lips and I kind of mutter jokingly to the side towards Odin. He doesn't seem like he does this very often. Another drink.
He snorts. More often than you think, less often than you would like.
Mead for me.
Interesting.
He the half orc turns to you, kind of gives you a side smile as he recognizes you, Keitha, and pours out a different mug and a different pitcher, pouring it to overfilling again, swearing at himself, and then using his apron to try to wipe up the little bits of sloshed mead on the counter.
Going to pull back to closest I can get to, like a quieter corner of the tavern. And then just kind of make a little clucking noise, and Albie's going to come out and sip at my mead with me.
All right.
So a tiny little white weasel head pokes out from under my cloak and starts lapping at the mead as well.
Aww.
It is honey mead. It does actually like it.
That is a beautiful specimen there.
It is, in fact.
Oh. Right, this is Albie. Albie, say hi.
It kind of chirps a little and flips a bit back into her sleeve before coming back out and lapping at the mead.
He's a wee bit shy, but charming there. He's a little charmer.
It's a pleasure. So how's the clan been faring the last couple of years? I haven't heard much news of it lately.
Surviving as we always do.
As I would expect.
You saw the score.
Forge, make a history check.
Where is my history? 13.
Okay. The clan is bigger than you remember. It appears that they've added a few more houses, and there are definitely quite a few more faces than you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's in no way rivaling the larger clans that own the majority of the lands around, but it is larger than a small clan, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Seems like you've grown a bit.
We're in a pretty good place here. It's obviously not without its conflicts, but it doesn't get hit as hard as most of the other clans out north.
I know it.
Right. So some folks head here just for the safety.
It's always nice to have a safe port of call in that.
Okay.
You guys slowly sip at your drinks, watching the dancers on the far end and the people mingling with one another before the front door opens wide and you see a great bearded blonde man walk in, chest bared and just some gauntlets and gloves affixed to his upper is the only clothing he has on his upper torso. The
Does
long
he have
pants
like
and furred boots.
wicked tattoos? Like
Oh, yeah.
all of the knot work.
Oh yeah, the full shoulder and chest.
Hell
Yeah.
This is
He
what
comes.
I'm missing.
He comes in and shouts at the top of his lungs. The limbo competition's about to begin. Get your asses out here. And a few of the younger men kind of pop up their heads and rush past him as he slaps one of them on the back and turns to walk out with them.
Real quick, the witch competition?
Limbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gentlemen fancy yourselves much of competitors?
Remind me the rules of
flexible.
Limbo.
It's yes.
I didn't catch what he said at all.
He said my name.
The way the Scaldrons play Limbo is in no way what Westerner would expect.
It's Highland Limbo.
This is Highland Limbo.
Right.
The competition is between two individuals, and between them they share a 6-foot-long pole. They draw lots, and the loser has to start. And as they start, you have one person grab just a little above halfway on the pole with both hands, and then stick the top end of the pole into the ground, and you have to swing your body beneath your arms using the pole as a pivot. And then they hand it to the next person who grabs above their hands, sticks the top of the pole in, and it's to see who can go the longest without falling or touching the ground with any part of their body other than their feet.
It's a bit hard to explain if you haven't seen it before, so
Like a weird caber toss.
it's worth a look if you've got the time.
Well, I don't know if I'll play, but I will watch.
I'll tell you what, lad, if you join, I will.
There's usually a pretty good prize at the end too.
Well, I'm in town.
This is
Why not
accurate
enjoy the
statement.
festivities?
All right, I'll lead him over to the limbo competition.
All right, you guys exit the bar, exit the meat hall, and the open field that had some dancers in it earlier has been cleared, and different people are pairing off. Most of them young men. A few of the younger women and older men have gotten into the competition as well and are starting to pair off. The large shirtless gentleman is walking between them, handing each couple a pole that he's carrying under his arm. Are any of you pairing off?
Sure.
Odin, I suppose you would like to pair off?
Fair enough.
All right, you two stand in the big guy. The big gentleman walks by and looks at you both. Both of you are strangers, he says as he pulls out a new pole.
Aye.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. And he thrusts the pole into your chest, Odin.
I catch it casually.
Works for me. And he moves on.
Odin flips the spear around and plants it firmly in the ground.
All right.
And he puts on his game face.
All right. Here's how this competition is going to go. Odin, Fangs or flank?
One more time.
Fangs or flank?
Fangs, obviously.
It's fangs. So, Darian, you get to begin.
Oh, goody. I
So you,
do not.
I would
know what
like
to
you
do.
to make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh, we're starting off to a good one, eh?
Agility and flexibility, and he called for acrobatics.
Well, I was
Well, that's a
anticipating
natural
strength.
one, so I'm off to a great start.
All right,
Thanks.
Darian, as you haven't quite seen this happen, and you're not quick enough to think, oh, I should watch someone else do this first. But instead, you just kind of go with your instinct and plant the stick in the ground, turning over, and the stick itself slips out from under you, fall on your face.
Wonderful. Of course, the person who does not know what he's doing goes first,
It's the luck of the straws.
Well, perhaps I can watch you. And I
Hey,
hand him
we'll
the
see how
stick.
this goes.
All right, acrobatics check for you, Odin.
18.
With ease, you take the pole from Darian and slide your way under, almost giving a little flourish as you pop back up. However, Darian has been eliminated. As you stand and watch, there are a few other people who have paired off, and they're all starting to do it as well. No one has failed yet, so as you stand there kind of wondering who you're supposed to be paired off with, the big blonde jumps in, kind of walks him and says, "Your partner already lost," he says, looking at you, Darian, still in the dirt, as you start to brush yourself off.
He's just a little new at it. He'll get it next time.
And Keitha, where are you at the moment? Are you just watching on the sidelines?
So far, I've been watching, and that was very amusing. I don't think I've seen anyone drop that fast since John's boy decided at 8 years old that he was going to try it.
I'm assuming I've already walked over to her at this point to hear that. Well, I probably should have watched the game first, but
It might have helped.
He challenged me, and I thought if I didn't, he would not have played.
All right. So, as you guys have your small conversation, the blonde gentleman kind of looks around and he sees you, Keitha, standing on the sidelines. So he just kind of points and says, "Keitha, you want to get in on this? I need another player."
Aye, fair enough.
Best of luck.
Right.
All right.
Well, she's
so
going,
you
she
walk
don't
up.
need luck.
So you take the pole, Keitha. I would like you to make an acrobatics check. The DC has now changed.
Wait. He hasn't had to make one yet? Yes, you.
He did make one. He succeeded.
Okay, understood. Alright. Acrobatics. That's a 16.
Okay. Yeah. No, that succeeds. You swing under the pole and not even close to touching the ground.
Fair enough.
All right.
So you see,
hand
Darian,
it off-
that's the big...
I see.
You hand the pole off to Odin. Odin, it's now your turn.
17.
Pretty much the same as last time. You're pretty good at this already. You feel pretty confident. The DC has now changed. Back to Keitha.
You did fine with the 7.
Beg pardon?
He succeeded with the 7.
With 17.
Okay. my audio cut out. That's a 22.
Oh, you are way too good at this as you slip under without any struggle.
Oh,
Odin, it is now your turn.
Man, I really hope I roll this high in combat. It's another 18.
Yep. Easy enough. Not quite as fluid as Keitha's last flourish, but she is an elf, and you aren't. So, Keitha, it's your turn. The DC has now changed.
I got overconfident. It's a 6.
Oof. And with that, Keitha, in her attempt to try to mimic what she did last time and just swinging under it, brushes both shoulders across the ground and loses all momentum, landing flat on her back. About this time, there are a
that's
few
okay.
others.
I reach down and pick her up. Valiant play, just a bit of bad luck.
Right, well, go ahead.
Go
Don't
for
make
it,
me
big
look too
combat.
foolish.
I'll do my best.
As he sees Keitha go down, the blonde, burly gentleman who's been talking to a different couple who just had one of their members eliminated, points over to you, Odin, and says, "Get over here, stranger! You're paired up with someone new now."
Fair enough.
The person you're paired up with is a human gentleman, patchy beard. He seems to be in his early 20s and very excitable. He takes the pole, and you guys have to flip. Fangs to flank.
Thanks.
It's Fangs again. He has to go first. So it's the same DC as where you were. It just continues. As he takes the pole from you. Actually, no, it actually raises because that was a full round. Oh boy. And he flops on the ground exactly the way Darian does.
I reach down and pick him up.
He just kind of, you see the red rush to his face as he looks completely embarrassed as the great big blonde gentleman just guffaws loud enough for you feel like anyone on the mountains could hear at this point.
I pat him on the shoulder. It's like, don't feel bad. We've all done it at least once.
Meanwhile, I'm patting Darian on the shoulder and saying, "See, it happens to everyone at least once."
Oh, Darian doesn't mind at all. He's like not insulted by the failure at all.
The burly blonde gentleman takes you by the shoulder, Odin, and pushes you over to a woman in about her 30s. The front of her blouse is caked in flour. It appears that she's been baking all day, but she looks hearty and ready to go. Fangs or flank?
Thanks.
It's flank. You have to go first.
All right.
Same DC as last time since we didn't get through a whole round. Go for it.
17.
It's a bit more difficult this time. You feel like you just barely brush by.
Okay.
And now it's her turn. And there are only a few more contestants left as you look around, popping up from that last one. Oof. And she face plants.
I pick her up.
She goes for a very, very quick to try to limit the force on her arms as much as possible, but in doing so completely hits one arm that throws her, and she fails. But that raises the DC for the next one.
I pick her up.
And she kind of gives you, thanks a lot, and walks off. And now it is down to you and one other gentleman. He's a 16-year-old boy, no facial hair, a buzz cut on both sides, and long floppy hair that comes down past his ear on one side.
Does he have a vape pen?
Of course. No. But he does have a large tattoo on one arm.
What is it?
You look a bit closer, it appears to be an attempt at wolf fangs, but the artist wasn't super good at it. He kind of shakes you by the hand as the large, or he extends a hand to shake as the large blonde gentleman puts you two together.
I shake his hand with my probably much larger and better muscled hand.
It is very true. He says, "Best of luck."
Aye to you too.
The blonde gentleman leans in between you two and holds a coin up and says, "Fangs or flank, stranger?"
Fangs.
It is flank. You go first.
All right.
And by this time, you're pretty close to the end of the pole. This is
Yep.
going to be a pretty hard go.
All right. Well. Shit. There we go. That's a roll. And it's a good roll, because it's 19 plus 2, so that's 21.
Whew, you find that this is very difficult. And as you slip under, you're having to arch your back up to make sure that you don't touch it all. But you make it through and hand the pole to the young man, who just kind of looks at the pole, a little scared. Because I have been rolling terribly, I'm going to use a different dice.